When working with HTML-based text, the first thing you'll want to do is override the browser's default CSS properties. You'll want to consider what blanket or base rules can be declared in the body selector. Remember that every element contained within the opening and closing body tags will inherit the body element values unless you specify otherwise in other rules. For example, to avoid having to declare the font family and font size for every element, some base rules can be applied right here at the outset. So I'm going to go ahead and set up a body rule here. I'm going to redefine the base rules for all of the content that now will be added to this page. Margins will be 10 pixels. All the borders by default will be black, 1 pixel solid. Padding will be uniform at 10 pixels. Fonts will be 15 pixel Verdana, Arial, or Sans Serif. And then the line height will be 125% of my font size, or about 17 pixels. Without setting up these base rules, the browser will apply its default CSS properties, so it will use its own typeface and font size and colors. You'll want to do this for more than just the body tag, but I would start here. You'll probably want to set margins, borders, padding properties, and more importantly, set the font family and font size properties as I've done here. Here I want to emphasize the line height property. This is the space between lines of text. This can make a big difference to the look of your text and should always be set to about 125% of the text size to maximize and enhance legibility. So this is a very good property to set up here in your body tag, so that unless otherwise specified, you're always going to get a proper amount of spacing between your text lines. I mention it here because the line height property is very easy to understand and simple to implement. Just add the line height colon and then a value in pixels, or you can use proportional spacing like M values. However, I mention it here because often line height is forgotten about. So once you apply this 125% rule, you'll see for yourself that this will enhance the look of your designs. Now you can also set your line heights using a percentage, which is a relative measurement. There are some advantages in using percentages for your line height, but they're a little bit harder to implement. So let's move on to the next movie and delve deeper into this property of line height.